Dear learners, today we are going to start learning web programming course. Web programming, the course called as RMCA 209. We are going to start the session with module 2. These are the contents in module 2. Markup language HTML, introduction to HTML and HTML5, formatting and fonts, formatting code, anchors, backgrounds, images, hyperlinks, lists, tables, frames, HTML forms. For completing this, we need 8 hours session, and this module is having a weightage of 15% marks for your university examination. So let us start with what is a web page. A web page is a document commonly written in HTML, hypertext markup language, that is accessible through the internet or other network using a browser. That is, a web page means a page that can be appeared on a web browser. For making a content to be appeared in web browser, we have to set the content in the form of markup language. Normally we are using HTML for that. We are having two types of web pages, static web page and dynamic web page. Hope you all know about this static web page and dynamic web page. Static web page means there is no change in the appearance, that is, they appear same all the time. Dynamic web page means depending upon the time or user the content changes. We can see the basic difference between static web pages and dynamic web pages. In case of static web page, we are already having HTML codes. But in case of dynamic, we are having HTML codes and as well as programs. In case of static web pages, there are no programmed, only design is there. But in case of dynamic web pages, programming elements are there. In case of static web page, interactivity is low, and in case of dynamic web page, its interactivity is high. In case of static web page, no input data is needed, but in case of dynamic, input data are collected using forms. So this is the basic difference between dynamic web page and static web page. Our web programming course is all about this HTML, JavaScript and CSS. Today we are going to start with HTML. So introduction to HTML. Before moving to HTML, we see what is a markup language. It's a computer language that uses tags to define elements within a document. In markup language, everything is appeared in tags. Generally, there are two types of markup languages: physical markup language and semantic markup language. In case of physical markup language, it means it refers the appearance of style of the page. Semantic markup language refers to the structure and meaning of contents in the web page. We know that HTML is a markup language and HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. This HTML is based on SGML. SGML, Standard Generalized Markup Language, which is a more complex one. HTML is having a fixed set of tags. Now we see what is HTML. HTML is a language which is used for describing web pages and it stands for Hypertext Markup Language. HTML is not a programming language. It's only a markup language which consists of markup tags only. These markup tags can be used to describe the web pages. HTML gives primary importance of the structure, that is, it includes paragraphs, headings, lists, images, links, etc. It gives the secondary emphasis to the style or appearance like fonts, colors, style, etc. HTML is not worry about the text placed in the web page. That is, HTML does not label the meaning of the text. HTML tags. HTML markup tags is surrounded by angle brackets like angle bracket, HTML, closing session of angle bracket. Most of the tags comes in pairs like V tag. V tag, an opening tag is there and a closing tag is there. The first tag, that is, this is the start tag and the second tag is the end tag. So the start tag and end tag are the opening tags and closing tags, and these tags are collectively known as, or this type of tags are collectively known as container elements or container tags. HTML documents is equal to web pages. HTML documents is same as web pages. HTML documents include HTML tags and plain text. The browser is able to read HTML documents and display them as web pages. The browser interprets the HTML tags and only display the content or plain text based on HTML tag style specified. Now we can see a basic HTML document. Every HTML document starts with this line doc type. You can see the content in the doc type tag, doc type HTML public / w3c / dtd HTML 4.0 transitional / en. This is the version of the HTML that we are using. There are three required elements like HTML tag, head tag and body tag. Now we see a simple HTML page example code. For creating a simple web page with content welcome, we need three tags. Every HTML document starts with HTML tag and ends with /HTML. Then comes the head tag. Inside the head tag, we can use title tag to mention the title of the page. Here the title is mentioned as my home page. You can see the code. What we need is placed in between the start tag and end tag of title. Then the head tag is closed. The next section in the HTML document is body tag. Body tag includes the data that is to be appeared in the web page. Here the data is welcome. Before including welcome, there is another tag called h1 tag which mentions that the coming word or the proceeding word is a heading. Then the h1 tag is closed, body tag is closed and HTML tag is closed. You can have a look at the browser. Then you can see the title is my home page and welcome is the text appeared in the content area. Basic structure elements. We already seen the first and last tags. First tag is HTML, then comes the head section which must come before body and it contains generic information about the document. In the head tag, we can include tags like title tag, link tag, script tag, style tag, then the body section, which contains the content of the document, and content can be designed using other tags like font tag, B tag, I tag, etc. etc. And this body section also includes tags for placing images, links, videos, audios, etc. Now we can see some of the block elements. Block elements define sections of text usually preceded by a blank line. In creating paragraphs, we are having a tag called p tag. For creating headings, we have h1 tag up to h6, h1, h2, etc. h6. Then p tag, which is used for preserving the content. Block code, which is used for intended data. Div tag, it is used for creating division. And this div tag is commonly used for style sheet application. We are going to discuss all these block elements in detail. Paragraphs. Paragraphs can be created using p tag, and it is a container elements. It creates a break between enclosed text and surroundings. Just look at the example on this slide. If we simply specify p, it is left aligned. If we want to align the content to be center, we have to use an attribute called align, that is align is equal to center. See this example and its appearance in the web browser. Then comes the headings. Six levels of headings are there. Look at the code and corresponding text appearance in the browser window. H1 is of large size and H6 is of the smallest size. Have a look at the code and the corresponding appearance on the web browser. H1 is of the biggest size and H6 is of the smallest size. Element relationships. In HTML, tags are forming a hierarchy. The root element is the HTML tag. It has two children, head tag and body tag, where these children can be subdivided. There are some elements which must not overlap. For example, h1 tag is opened, then comes a tag, then after some time h1 tag is closed, then close the a tag. This is not possible. It should be possible only like this manner. h1 tag is open, then a tag is open. After closing a tag, then h1 tag will be closed. That is, nesting should be properly applied. You can refer to the w3.org website for getting the full list of rules that can be used for HTML. Now we see the inline descriptive elements. Descriptive elements affect the appearance of text depending on how the text is described. EM tag, which is used for emphasizing the text with italics. Strong tag, which is used to make the text strong with bold letters. Cite tag, which is used for creating citations in italics. Quote tag, which is used for monotag spacing. Just look at the example and you can see the appearance of the corresponding content on the browser. Fascinating is enclosed in EM tag, and on the browser it is appeared in italics. Must is enclosed in between the strong tags, and which is appeared as bold letters in the browser. Now we can see the inline explicit style elements. Boldface, which is used for creating bold letters. Big tag is used for creating bigger font than surrounding text. Small tag, which is used for creating smaller font than surrounding text. I is used for making the text italics. S is used for creating strike-throughs. Sub is used for creating subscripts. Sub tag is used for creating super tags, superscripts. Span, which delimits text for style sheet control. Div, which delimits blocks of text for style sheet control. The last two tags, span and div, are used with style sheet applications. Another inline explicit style element is font tag. This font tag can have attributes like face, size, color, weight. Face attribute specifies the name of the font like Arial, Times, Wordana, etc. Size attribute specifies the size of the text. Normally, the size value ranges from 1 to 7, or you can use +1. +1 indicates that the coming text will be one size bigger than the previous. -2 means the coming text will be two sizes smaller than the previous. We can also set the color of the font using hexadecimal RGB color code, or we can specify the color name by the name itself. Then weight. Weight is another attribute of font tag which ranges from which can take values from 100 to 900 with values 100, 200, 300 up to 900, which indicates the boldness of the text. There is an example. Font face is equal to Arial, size is equal to +1, color is equal to pink, weight is equal to 300. So after the proceeding content after this font tag will appear in Arial font, Arial style with one size bigger than the previous text, and it should be appeared in pink color with a 300 bold figure or 300 weightage for its boldness. So this is all about the basic HTML tags. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.